Story 1, moles. I don't like them, so I don't look at them. But what if they are getting larger or darker or something? I should look at them. But no, forget those moles. Story 2. It looks pretty nice, but it doesn't really work too well, which is annoying. This is about managing multiple chronic mental and physical illnesses. Story 3. Sometimes acne, sometimes itchy skin, sometimes flaky lips, usually tired eyes, plus I have astigmatism and myopia. Story 4. My breasts are too large. I know how that sounds, but sometimes I feel like it's all that people see when they look at me. Story 5. Belly fat won't go away, and it is in the average range for size, yet it feels too small. Obviously, the former influences the latter, which is very annoying. Story 6. I, a 29-year-old man, have what I refer to as little brother syndrome. I'm quite short, have basically no facial hair, and generally just look very young. This makes dating nearly impossible. I feel like no one takes me seriously, just treats me like they would a little brother, even people that are 4 to 5 years younger than me. Story 7. Just the fact that there's always something wrong. When one problem is gone, another arises. Painful pimple right on my nose for a week. When it's gone, I suddenly have a mouth sore in a spot that sees constant movement or friction. When that's gone, my wrist or back hurts extra from work. When that's gone, and so on and on. Story 8. I am dealing with body dysmorphia, and I wish my body was a bit different. I have been going to the gym, but I had to stop for 3 weeks because I got really sick. Story 9. I have hidradenitis suppurativa, so I hate being topless, and I am scared that if one day I meet someone who is willing to have sex with me, she will be disgusted. Story 10. Why do muscles that are supposed to be working decide to give up and twinge in pain when I have barely done anything all day? Story 11. I chipped one of my front teeth when I was 8, and the dentist treated it. He advised me to avoid using it since the fix was resin bonding, and it is really easy to break. From the constant overuse of the molars instead of the front teeth, my jaw has grown enormously, and now I am perceived unusually with a very prominent jawline on top of Jay Baruchel's body. Story 12. Looks nice but hides an invisible, incurable illness. It won't kill me, but it certainly affects my quality of life. Story 13. Too skinny. Shifting my body mass index above 18 is a pain, and if I stop making a conscious effort, it drops back again. It's a problem many people would love to have, so I try not to complain about it, but I would love to be a stone heavier. I'm definitely on the too skinny side of thin. I'd look a lot better with a little more meat on my bones. Story 14. This pesky mouth wants to keep eating food after the rest of the gang are like, "Stop it, we're done here." Mouth. We're done when I say we're done. Oh hey, what's that? I'm the only one who can say anything? Too true. Now push that Italian beef into me. Hands, or so help me I'll bite you both. Story 15. It is getting old. 67. Constantly battling my mind, which thinks it is in its 30s. Sometimes I have to make them go to their own rooms. Story 16. I hate how in pictures my face looks terrible, but when I look in the mirror, my brain thinks it was carved by the gods. Story 17. That it's betrayed me. 3 autoimmune conditions and the myriad of symptoms they cause. It's ruined my life. Can't work. Some days I can barely walk. It sucks. So I would like a refund. Thanks very much. Story 18. Allergies. I can't wrap my head around why a variety of benign things will literally ruin my day, or maybe even worse, just randomly and at random intensities. Every time I get an allergy attack, I lose tons of time by realizing I'm having it, to debating over if it's bad enough for medicine, to seeing if I even have the good meds that actually knock it out, to seeing if those meds even work this time if I take them. All while wondering how my ancestors made it long enough to have my grandparents, my parents, and eventually me, when spring flowers and grass seemed to be our arch nemesis. How did we conduct business? Did my ancestors go to war saying like, "I hope we're warring indoors. Cross your fingers, guys. Hope there's no trees. Laugh out loud." I don't understand allergies at all. I like my immune system. She's just very overprotective and it's annoying. Story 19. I used to curse my autism and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder when I was young because I was the only kid in my class that was different. But now I see it as a bonus because it makes me more empathetic and understanding. Story 20, mostly fine with everything. The one thing that bothers me is that my body does not handle hair removal well at all. I grow enough of a beard that it needs shaving at least every 2 to 3 days, but not enough to just grow it out. My skin really doesn't like being shaved, and it irritates easily. Story 21. Sadly enough, my belly has never felt comfortable with it. Now, even less since I gained some weight. Story 22. My digestive health has been a significant concern for me. I am 23 years old. I had my appendix and gallbladder removed. I first developed gastritis at 16, and then again at 18, but it never went away. I was diagnosed with gastroesophageal reflux disease. 7 months ago, I started having nausea, which led to the removal of my gallbladder. Now, I might have irritable bowel syndrome and functional dyspepsia. I experience acid reflux, nausea, bloating, excessive belching, cramps, and abdominal pain, all of which started post-operation, besides the nausea which I already had. Eating has become a chore. Even plain, simple foods like soups and plain beef are difficult for me to consume. Before anyone suggests it, I haven't had processed, greasy, spicy, or fatty foods since I was 18. Feels like doctors can't help me anymore, and eating is a chore. Story 23. I have an essential tremor, which just basically means my hands shake all the time. There's no cure for it, and I don't want to take medications for the rest of my life to try and treat it. But if I don't, then it interferes with everything else in my life. I haven't always had it, so knowing that I can't do things as well as I used to is terrible. I feel so stuck sometimes because of it. Story 24. I'm getting chubby. This wouldn't normally matter because, in all fairness, I'm not super fat or out of average range or anything. But I used to be in such extremely good shape that the fat now really makes me self-conscious. Story 25. It shuts down over stress. Turns out it might be migraines, but going from a functioning, intelligent human adult to the feeling that everything is more effort than I can spare is disorienting and terrifying. Story 26. Why do I have to pee more than 20 times a day and need glasses and over 10 hours of sleep to be well rested? I didn't ask for this. Story 27. Being 194 centimeters but born, raised, and living in Asia, everything is too small or too short for me, like the height of kitchen sink, height of door frame, length of shirt sleeves, and so on. Story 28. Low testosterone, high cholesterol, and love handles. Also, not being picky, I guess, my nose is crooked, and my pores are huge. Story 29. Due to pregnancy and gaining weight and then losing it, I have a panniculus. It's the strange pouch of skin that hangs off my stomach. The only way to get rid of it is for it to be surgically removed. Story 30. I struggle with urinary urge incontinence. That is what bothers me the most. Still no answers from the doctor. Other than that, I guess maybe my teeth could be straighter, but then again I like how my smile looks like mine. If I changed it now at 23, I think it would give me a miniature identity crisis. Story 31. The fact that I have body hair, even though it serves no purpose, also my bloated tummy, even if I don't eat, it's still bloated. Story 32. Faulty electrical system, migraines, faulty HVAC, cannot stay warm, no matter what, faulty joinery, stiff and sore joints, faulty software, prone to anxiety. Story 33. I am skinny everywhere except for my belly, so I have been asked a few times if I am pregnant. I am like, nope, but I do treat my food like a baby. Story 34. I was born with my intestines on the outside, and my belly button is the start of a scar that goes all the way up to my ribs. Plus, there's a scar on my side from a gastrostomy tube. It's not pleasant to look at and has prevented me from wearing a lot of cute clothes over the years. Crop tops were very popular when I was in high school. That and my teeth. Due to poor mental health and financial difficulties, I essentially have no top teeth left, just 4 of the fronts with the middle one broken, and random bits held in my gums that I can't afford to have removed. Story 35. My right breast is 1.5 sizes bigger than my left. It's not fun to have my bras tailored on top of a huge size. And yes, I was considering a reduction, but I had so many surgeries done due to my poor health that I'm afraid of getting scheduled for another one. Story 36. I lost weight and I'm older, so my skin isn't so tight. It's not so bad, but I'd like it to be tighter. Maybe some laser tightening would be perfect, but that's really expensive. Story 37. My metabolism is so fast that I am always hungry, like 30 minutes after a big meal, and I am hungry again. When you spend 10 hours of your day away from home, it's expensive and painful. This led to a big loss of weight after starting to work full-time 10 years ago, weight that I never managed to get back. Story 38. I put on weight because of medication. I am on a calorie deficit currently and going to the gym 3 times a week and not seeing much progress. I know it takes time, but damn. Story 39. I have an ugly scar on my neck and face from a bad car accident. I haven't felt pretty since I got them. Story 40. I can see my bottom 2 ribs. It doesn't matter how much I eat or put on weight. The bottom ribs still protrude out. Story 41. I'm disproportionate. Mathematically, even. It's been an insecurity my whole life, but even now that I've made peace with it, to some extent, it makes buying clothes a real challenge. Story 42. I gained weight when I was depressed and have really struggled to lose it. I lost 2 stone and felt amazing, but have plateaued at 13 stone. I look bloated, and I feel like dirt. Having previously been much more attractive, I can say that looks go such a long way in how people talk to you, who is interested in being your friend, how you are treated at work. Story 43. Honestly, I don't really care how I look or how people look at me. If they like me, then okay, I like them too. If they hate me, nah, I don't give a flip. Story 44. In addition to my genetic weight issues, I absolutely despise having a cleft chin. It's okay on men like John Travolta, Patrick Dempsey, and Ewan McGregor, but it makes me feel unfeminine. Story 45. I don't have any tentacles. Could really use some tentacles. I've lost count of the amount of times in my life where tentacles would have been really, really useful. Story 46. My height? Does anyone know how to increase it? Tell me about techniques such as the microfracture technique and similar things so I can do them on a daily basis. Story 47. I wear plastic Weezer frame glasses because my sweat eats up or corrodes metal. Contacts are uncomfortable. Story 48. Lose skin from kids/weight gain and loss. I'm in the best shape of my life, but that's not going to change. It's okay though. Story 49. I have pain with sex, and it's more of a bother than something I enjoy now. It's not all the time, but I don't know until I try, and I get scared to try. Story 50. My stomach. I look slim from the front, but when I turn to the side, then what? I look like I am pregnant. It is not even cute, floppy, tubby fat. It's the kind of stomach your granddad has. Story 51. My health decided to take an absolute nosedive 2 years ago. Riddled with chronic pain, and no matter how good I take care of myself, it seems like I'm in a constant battle with my health. Story 52. As I get older, my inability to heal as quickly becomes more apparent. I feel betrayed by how my body hurts from accumulated injuries. I don't care as much about how I look, but I hate limping, being hunched over, and not being able to do the day-to-day things I used to take for granted. Story 53. Just about everything. Shaving is a Sisyphean task. I have no body fat, and what fat I do get doesn't get distributed where I want it to. Also, I can't wear some clothes because my overly large private area would show through. Story 54. How it changed after having babies. I am muscular and active. I am in shape, but the loose skin, I can't afford cosmetic surgery yet. But one day, Story 55. It takes a week of strict dieting to lose a few pounds, but if I even look at a piece of bread, somehow I gain 5 pounds in a day. Story 56. That it's getting older. Things are saggy and jiggly, and it really hurts my feelings. Also, I'm not as pretty as I used to be, and I think my husband thinks so too. Story 57. My eczema is so bad and hurts a lot. I cannot even sleep properly without itching so much that I start to bleed. I just recently got this pill that helps a lot. Story 58. My private parts. I am a 26-year-old female and have lichen sclerosis. So basically, I am in pain every few days and sex is a problem many times. Before that, I used to be so concerned about things that do not matter, like my hair loss or my long nose. Chronic pain seriously shifts your perspective on that. I don't worry about these external things anymore at all. Just wish I wasn't in pain most of the time. Story 59. All my fat goes to my stomach, and I'm thin everywhere else. I am very active and eat well, but can't seem to lose the belly fat. Maybe it's the contraceptive I'm on, but if I had to choose between a flat stomach or worry about getting pregnant every time I do the deed, then I'll happily just stay a bit chubby. Also, my eyesight, I can't see without glasses, and my glasses are always getting smudged. Story 60. The visible asymmetry from head to toe would never fail to chip away the ounce of positive body image I've been trying to build. Story 61. I received a root canal treatment at age 15 because an actor at a haunted house headbutted me, resulting in one of my front teeth turning a slight shade of gray. This is noticeable when I smile. Over-the-counter bleaching treatments do not work on root canal-treated teeth. I will have to pay $1,500 for a crown to correct it, since it's considered a cosmetic procedure. Story 62. After having a stroke, I can no longer drive. I can't feel it when I smoke weed, and I need a walker to get around. I used to be so active. I hiked over all kinds of terrain and drove across the US, seeing some great places. Now, I'm unable to work, living on my Social Security disability insurance. I can no longer explore the woods, drive up the Columbia River Gorge to the waterfalls, or just walk around town. I just watch TV and play games on my phone. I need to get rides to go shopping. I'm handicapped and miss being active. Everything is harder, from taking a shower to opening packaging. I'm 62 and feel like a waste of life.